So today we're gonna, just kind of like last video, we're gonna talk about the future a little bit, and this one's a little more serious than the 500 gallon, that all the 500 gallons I've been talking about. But that's eventually something I am gonna do. That's not like a lie. I mean, it's just gonna take a long time because this is gonna come first before anything. So that was just to have fun, but that something like that will happen one day. It's just not anytime soon. But um, last night and this morning I kind of did a little live stream. Um, Not much people are really in it, so really this will all be new to everybody. Um, this is basically a floor plan to future fish store. Now this is basically how I wanted. This is basically be not much changes really. I mean, it just depending how big everything is and how big of a place I can put. This is basically how it's gonna be, and we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna, you know, basically the plan is right when I'm 30, or at least a little, maybe like 29, right in there. That's when I'm gonna actually like start like putting up the building. That's when I plan to do it. So basically, I'm gonna be probably saving up for, yeah, probably 12 years. I'll be saving, which that's a long time from now. I mean, that's the thing. That sounds like a long time, but once I'm out of high school, I mean, 10 years is gonna fly by like super, super quick. So that's why I'm doing this now. And it's better, everybody knows it's better to research way before, even if it's 10 years before this. Um, the reason it's gonna take so long is because this is gonna cost a lot of money. I mean, what's gonna cost the most is, the plot to put it on. Because, I want it in like a actual, city area. And I mean, as of right now, that could easily cost a couple $1 million. But right now, I'm not kind of worried about that part. Um, I'll deal with that another time. But this building right here you're looking at, I don't, I'm not somebody that can put up a price yet, just because I don't know what's all gonna be, happening. But I could tell you now, this thing's probably gonna be a $250,000 building, easily. So we're gonna have to prepare now, because this is something that once you get started, there's no turning back. This is something that's gonna be really big, and it could change, it could change pet stores forever, or really just fish stores in general, because this is gonna be like, this ain't gonna be like, oh, I buy a little building or lease a building. Kind of like, I guess the example is Aquarium Co-op. Like, he didn't build the building he's in. I mean, he just bought that little building. It used to be a cleaning vacuum store, business, and he took over and turned it into a fish store. Well, this right here is gonna be built from the ground up. So that's why it's gonna be expensive. So this is all gonna be a brand new building, and that's what's gonna change a lot of things for a lot of fish stores. And this is all gonna be online too, so it's gonna be, um hoping it's gonna be a big deal when it gets started. So what you're looking at, this is basically the whole thing. The actual store, as you can see these lines are going across all the way. Now basically the store is here to here, but then back here to here is basically kind of a warehouse section. Always you can see office and storage. Like, this is all kind of like Aquarium Co-op. I'm gonna keep referencing him because he's basically the closest person I know that does stuff like this. He has, to the right of him, he has that extra building where he keeps all of his stock goods and all that. Well, mine will be in the back of the building with the office and all that, so it'll make it a lot nicer. And this setup is a lot nicer than any pet store slash fish store you'll ever see in your life. So if this can actually happen, this will be the coolest place, I can tell you right now. So, this is front entrance. I don't know how that's all gonna work yet. If it's one door or double doors, I don't know yet. So obviously right here, this is the I don't know why I put CEO. I forget what that stand for. I forget what I put there. But this is basically the cash area, desk. Um, but as you see here, there's this little kind of square area. Now, this looks big on paper, but it probably won't be big once it actually, with dimensioning, this area probably won't be like huge, but this will be, you know, checkout area, and then that right here, this will be kind of it'll probably end up being kind of a sitting area, just, you know, for people that just want to chill. But this is what, you know, just like my poster, my fish fan poster. This is what I'm talking. This is kind of like the area for that. So gallery, this will just be a wall of pictures, basically. Because what I plan to do is when I'm building, I'm gonna be taking pictures, kind of like a time lapse. We might even have like a TV right here, just kind of having slide pictures of like just like over the years and like preparing for this. It's just gonna be like a little memorial area kind of thing. It's gonna be kind of cool just to, you know, where we started. So like us talking right now like that, you know, we'll all remember that. You know, this will all be just kind of like a whole story on this wall, how it all started. So obviously, if you have that's why I'm telling you to send your stickers if you do have them, because you will eventually be on this wall. But now next you can see there's two sides. Now the plan was to put, you know, fresh water and then salt water. Well, really that would be, you know, the best thing, because I mean I would do so much if I had this big of room for salt water, but we have to talk reality right now, and we all know a fish store can't be, it's not exactly going to be accessible. And you know, Aquarium Co-op, he's successful and he has a fish only store, but at the same time, his fame on YouTube definitely helped him and stuff like that. So other than that, there's not a lot of fish stores. I mean, unless stuff like Petco and PetSmart, those big old chain stores, local fish stores, I know for a fact they do not make enough. I know that. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna make this half. It's gonna be basically like 60% fish, but the other half's gonna be, you know, regular animals. You know, um your regular everyday pests that everybody has besides fish. But so we have two archways. This is gonna be like a big archway, kind of like a little fancy archway. So there's gonna be walls here. So there'll be signs above this that say, you know, small animals, reptiles, stuff like that. Then there'll be a big sign above this one that says fish, so people know, you know, which section they want to go in. Um, so when you go into the fish area, these are all shelves. So these, and then there'll be obviously stuff on this wall and this wall and stuff like that. This wall probably have a lot of the saltwater stuff, like a lot of lights and, you know, more of the bigger stuff, but all like the chemicals, filters, I mean everything will be on this wall, and then, you know, maybe some tanks back here, like tanks to buy and stuff, be on that wall. But it just all depends on what it looks like in the end. So basically, we have these are just like rackings of. Now, the thing is, like if you look at Aquarium Co-op's, his big old wall of 20 gallons. Well, obviously mine won't be probably that long. I mean, it could. You never know. But I mean, he has a lot of tanks on the wall. But think of take that what he has, and times that by 4. That's how many tanks I'm going to have just in fresh water. Now, the thing is, these two rows will probably have 20 gallons. But as we get down further, they're going to get bigger and bigger. So down here, we might have 125 gallon tanks, which that's probably what I'll have. And so we might only be able to fit like 2,500 gallons on this side. But you know that we'll have this whole row will be 125 gallons. This might be, I don't know, we could probably do 55 gallons, and then maybe, I don't know, these probably two would be 20 gallon, but I wouldn't be afraid to do 40 gallons on the second one. So basically, tank sizes will get bigger and bigger for, you know, the type of fish, because a lot of fish stores, I know they end up selling them anyway, but you know, it sucks to put a fish in a 20 gallon just for the time being, just to sell it. But you know, we're gonna have bigger tanks going down the row. But right here, I mean, I'm guessing we're gonna have, I gotta believe we had a 50 to 75 tanks on the freshwater side. But, you know, I haven't really mapped that out, so I really don't know. Now, this is the cool part. Now, there's gonna be these two islands. Now, these both are gonna hold plants. Um, I'll have, little fancy racks made, like little holes drilled into plastic where we can like stick the pots of plants. And then on the ends of these, probably right here, maybe right here too, on the end of this one, we'll have a shelf, and that will hold all the tissue cultured, because we will sell those too. But all the live plants that, you know, need to be in water, like all the potted, will all be in these cubbies in these two big tanks. And these will just be kind of like little like little, if you ever seen fragging tanks. They're real shallow. That's basically what these tanks will be. Those be on stands, but they'll be like really big, this shallow tanks. Because you don't need it real deep for a plant tank. You want to be able to grab your plants easy and bag it up and sell it to the customer. Same thing on the fresh saltwater side. We have two islands, and these both are gonna hold corals. Now, corals, we could probably fit a lot more corals, so this is gonna be a really cool display of corals. And these shelving kind of divide the area. So, and then you can see the saltwater's the shelves are smaller. Now, this it'll probably be the same as this, but because I want to do auto water change system. I mean, that's kind of the wisest thing to do when you're doing a fish store like this. So I can't just put them against the wall. This one I can put against the wall because I can have kind of a filtration system back here. Um, I want to say exactly a filtration system because we'll probably have um I don't really want to do sponge filters in the tanks just because I have a better idea, but there'll probably be some type of filtration for all these tanks. Probably for each racking going out, there'll probably be something behind this wall, but you never know. But doing water changes daily on all these tanks, that's that'll be good enough. But we might have to throw sponges in there. You never know. But we probably will end up doing that just to be safe. I don't want to have any problems going down the road. But saltwater, there's a wall behind here because I don't know if any piping, whatever we need to do, because the auto water change, it's gonna be pretty difficult. I mean, because we have to, because it's gonna be behind this wall, so I don't know if we need to go behind this wall and go all the way through here. That's gonna be a pain. I don't know if we're gonna have to do that or not, but yeah, that's gonna take more time of thinking. But right now, if you guys have any ideas of how we could possibly do that, all advice is taken at this point. Um, but on the other side, this is the reptile spur, small mammals and all that. So another archway right here will be they're a little bit bigger, but we'll have reptiles, and that will hold probably 50. Same thing, 50, probably 50 different type of reptiles. Maybe they'll be probably similar animals. Like if we have a lot of leopard geckos, we could probably all spread them out just because we'll have a lot of tanks, and that'll be so nice, to keep them nice and healthy. Because you don't want to crowd one species in one tank. We could probably spread them out a little bit. These are all shelving too. There'll probably be more shelving on the back, stuff like that. And then the B is for birds. So these will be big bird cages. I'll probably only have 6, 7, maybe only 5 species of birds at a time, but that's just so it's available. And just to show that we do sell birds, so if people ever want special order birds, we can do that. And then these will be little just children height, or at least they're gonna be, just round, shallow, rimless displays that will hold, maybe a couple species of bunnies at a time, just to get people attracted. Kids like that stuff, and it brings it back. It's like a small zoo, so having just little bunnies at a time, maybe people like that stuff. So keeping a little couple mammals, I don't want to because they stink up your store, but that would be kind of nice to keep a couple at a time. Now you guys might have seen this. The front of the store, they're gonna be. This was actually gonna happen on this wall back here, but now that we have to combine them, it's not gonna work. So on this wall, we're gonna have two 500 gallons. It might be bigger, it might be smaller, but it probably won't be smaller. It'll probably be bigger at the worst case. But we could see 2,000-gallon tanks right here. I don't know. But probably 500 is the most reasonable. And basically, there'll be a whole nother room back here for the filtration for these two tanks. These are just for display. This is just to, kind of when people come in, they'd be like, wow, like just stuff like that, It'll be a reef tank and probably, it'd be cool to do a cichlid tank, but I'll probably end up doing a big old planted, just so we can have a lot of schooling fish in there. Now back here, connecting into the fish room, this will be a pond area, so there'll be a big old pond. There'll maybe be other tanks right here for, maybe really monster tanks or monster fish, but this will basically be a koi area. So people that like pond fish, this will be their room. Now this room's kind of similar. It connects to the reptile, and plus it connects to the filtration room. I don't know what this is gonna be yet. Maybe we can keep other stuff, maybe like huge snakes or something. I don't know. I really don't know what that would be, honestly. Maybe if we take this out and expand this and make it more fish, that's a possibility. But this is the office area. This will basically be all the, where all the work takes place. Back here is, hospital tanks for all these fish, and then more storage. Storage back here for, your stocks. This is where we keep everything to keep the shelves filled. These will all be quarantine and breeding tanks for all this. Now there might be more, like there'll probably be more in front of this, just because we need a lot for the fresh salt water. But we might do half and half on these because it won't take long to quarantine, and then they'll stay in these tanks for a long time. But and plus, if we have any extra fish, we can throw them back here too. So this will basically be a whole nother fish area back here. No, they'll all be doors connecting back here. Obviously, you can see the spaces. But I mean, that's kind of a quick little plan I got on. The video is a little shaky, so I am holding it. So if you're about to pass out, my bad. But as you can see, it's looking pretty sexy. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I think everybody can agree right here. Even if you don't like me, you like me. Um, I think anybody can agree. Even a Petco could agree that this will probably be the most insane pet store on the planet, and the nicest pet store on the planet. But other than that, send me your stickers, and I'll see you guys on the next one.